I don't know why that wasn't connected. Oh man, I gotta fix this too. I had to reset my PC. Hold on. There we go. All right, guys. Man, I'm getting such bad frames today. I don't know why. Tell me if I get bad frames or not. Drop in frames. I should have fixed it. I believe I fixed it. I don't know. It's been really weird today. It's only. Longest ballot committee targeted peers riding in made it impossible to find peer. Election workers were seen carrying ballots, carrying to their homes. Election fraud. Yeah, I know, but the thing is, Ben, listen, I understand you're Canadian. I get it, but everyone claims election fraud when they lose. Look, I don't know. I don't live in Canada. It's not surprising the result that I saw. The liberal minority. In terms of him specifically being voted out, I think he's going to take someone else's seat anyways. Yes, I know about the Bill Belichick drama. I really don't care about it, man. You've been talking about that in the chat this whole time. I had to reset the stream to 7:30 from 7 o'clock. Oh, man. I gotta change the light composite, too. That's the wrong one again. I think that's probably good. Nope, that's still too bright. There we go. You don't have to rig an election in Canada. Yeah, that's how liberal they are. You're right. But we've got big news regarding Alberta. Danielle Smith updating the Citizen Initiative Act, slashing the referendum signature requirement from 600K to 177K, 10% of last election's voters, extends collection an extra 30 days, making it easier for them to have a referendum. And listen, I don't even know. I've seen the numbers and the polls, and it's like, well, only about 30% of them would vote for this, but maybe it's about 40% now. I'm not sure. But they need like a super majority. They need like 60%, I think. What happened with Alberta? Well, it's ongoing. I still don't think it's likely, but it's certainly ongoing, and this is going to be a developing story that I can do videos on. Because they're making it easier to have a referendum. And if the referendum happens and it's like 65% want to leave, Trump can jump in and say it needs to happen and I demand it. Because it's the voters who want it. It's not a Greenland situation to where the voters are against it, or the citizens are against it, I should say. PBD and his shitty hosts went scorched earth and went off on Pierre and said it was his fault. It's the voters and their retardation. Yeah, well, he was just pissed off that Paul Viev didn't go on his show. I mean, it's an American show. It's a Canadian election. You're a right-wing dude. Canada's left-wing. It's probably not a good idea for him to go on. But he's obsessed with people going on his show, and if they don't, he gets angry about it. And so you knew he would gloat a lot if that happened. I mean, like the stream. Yeah, guys, like the stream. Go ahead and give the stream a like. It makes sense to annex British Columbia because then Alaska would be connected. Yeah, but how important really is that? Would we want British Columbia? Not really. I mean, they're liberal. I know people are obsessed with connecting Alaska, but it's like, I don't know how much money that really saves, and if it's worth it with, I mean, maybe they'd be a territory, but that is a bigger population. Believe we only need 51% to leave? I don't think so, because remember Quebec tried leaving, and it's more than a simple majority. I think a simple majority is 51%. It needs to be more than that. But I mean, it's not that. It's like, what is it, 53%, 55%? I don't know what it is exactly. But all I know is about 30 to 40% right now Whether or not they can up those numbers, it's dependent on if Trump pushes for it. I mean, Trump has not said the word Alberta really once yet. So once he starts talking about it, you have to wonder, maybe that'll make it worse in terms of them leaving. I know some of them want to leave and they want to be independent. They don't even want to join the United States. But I mean, for them, it's because they're so insulated. They really don't need military protection. Yeah, he believes he lost because he didn't go on the podcast. Absolutely. You want Yukon? Uh, well, I would want Nunavut over Yukon, but that's Arctic control. I mean, that would be a connection. That would be just like Greater Alaska. I wouldn't. I would just leave it as Yukon though. I wouldn't change the border of Alaska. It doesn't make sense. There's not enough population in Yukon. They've got like Whitehorse, but other than that, there's really no cities. Coco, what's up? How's your Tuesday? My Tuesday's fine. We've got some weird weather. It's just horrible humidity in Ohio. It's like 78 degrees and really windy, and it looks like it's going to rain, but it hasn't rained yet. It's very overcast again. Liberals make it so that it was one of the great sins, like the death penalty sin, even though they say everything positive about Trump, even though there's no defense to vote liberal. Yeah, no, I mean, the problem is your country's just intrinsically liberal. It's infused into the country. And so it's hard to really come back from that. But I mean, you could argue, I mean, and look, I've actually been more so on the Canadians who are mad at Trump's side to a degree. I think Trump did play a factor in it, but I really don't care that Trump played a factor into it. It doesn't really matter to me. But obviously, Trump saying what he said is not necessarily going to help the conservatives. But you have to take ownership at some point. I mean, the country is liberal. The New Democrat Party galvanized with the liberals, and they ended up taking I mean, they only got a minority anyways. It got when I got offline, it got better in terms of their numbers, because it was looking like they were going to get a majority, and then it switched right before I got off. You hear about the Bill Belichick drama? What with like the escort Jordan, his girlfriend who's 24, she's an escort, and they met on some app that's like a sugar daddy app. I don't know. That's all I heard on it. And I saw the interview where I showed the interview on here with Belichick and her. She was like scowling, watching his every answer. I don't know. Was there an update on that? Pakistan says India is planning to attack in 24 to 36 hours. Yeah, India would beat Pakistan in a war. Hopefully it doesn't happen, though. Alberta being sovereign and not a U.S. state is like a gold without an owner. Yeah, but they would still have an economic alliance with us, and they would do a bunch of free trade with us, is what it would be. But I don't know. You'd have to really study it to see if it would be more viable for their citizens to be independent versus joining the United States. I think some of them just don't want to be Americans. It's just the label of it, I guess. Anyone hiring a plumber in the States would prefer a northern state. All right, thank you for the donation, Caden. India has nukes. Well, they both have nuclear capability. That's why people are scared by this. Did you see Trump crypto thing on Truth? No, I didn't see it. China backs up Pakistan, we get India. Well, we're technically, I think, allies with both Pakistan and India, but more so India because India is way more powerful. Vance was just in India. Vance's wife, it's like we're looking to potentially. Also, I thought Apple was looking to maybe produce iPhones in India as well. I heard about that. Maybe moving their operations there. I don't know. We're getting into a bigger relationship with India. It feels like. NDP tanked their party because they refused last fall to force an election and force Trudeau to face a humiliating defeat. Yeah, no, absolutely. And then there's really there's really no avenue for them to go. If you've got two liberal parties and there's a conservative above, the less popular liberal party is just the voters are gonna leave them to make sure the conservatives lose. and they're going to galvanize around the more popular Liberal Party, which is what happened. I can't message you on X. Did you see my post in your comments? Well, I mean, which comment was it? Which post are you talking about? I made several posts. President Trump's Truth Social explores launching a utility token and digital wallet for subscriptions and rewards, according to shareholder. Not another token, man. Oh, this is a utility, though. It's not a meme coin. Nah, we don't need this. Does that mean Wisconsin has open seat Supreme Court? What are you referencing in that post? Wisconsin? I mean, they just had a Supreme Court seat open and the liberal won. Crawford. Alberta should join the U.S. That would improve everyone's lives. Oil and gas in the U.S. economy would be a powerhouse. Yeah, well, it would be an initial adjustment period, but it would be a total juggernaut if we got access to their resources. So I think Trump is going to start talking about it. He'll start slow playing it. I mean, people were talking about this Gretchen Whitmer thing. I'll take a look at this.
Well, I hadn't planned to speak, but I'm on behalf of all the military men and women who serve our country and serve so honorably on behalf of the state of Michigan. I am really damn happy we're here to celebrate this recapitalization at Selfridge. It's crucial for the Michigan economy. It's crucial for the men and women here, for our homeland security and our future. So thank you. I'm so grateful that this announcement was made today, and I appreciate all the work. Thank you.
I don't really see an issue with that. Talk about the U.S. subsidizing Canada. Alberta has been subsidizing Canada, especially the Atlantic, so we have more right. No, I agree. It's with the Equalization Act. What happened with Posobiec and Raskin? I'll take a look at that in a second. I don't know what happened. When is the GDP update? I thought it was the 25th. I guess not. I thought it was going to be on the 25th. For Q1, I thought it would have happened. But I think it's going to be positive, like 0.5%. She got kidnapped. Remember that. The fake kidnapping. There go her 2028 plans. But she's done this before. She was at the White House with Trump, and it's a weird moment. Be interesting to see if Carney's leadership will propel a conservative wave. Well, they're already talking about calling another election within a year in Canada. Now, I don't know the exact seat numbers. You know what? I can take a look at it. Well, that's not... I don't have it pulled up. I can take a look at what the projections are right now. In terms of seats, 161, I mean 170, so they wouldn't even have a coalition there. The Bloc, I mean, are the Bloc's really going to form a coalition with the Conservatives? I find that hard to believe, but I think there possibly will be another election pretty quickly. Carney's an extremely weak leader. This is not a side. I mean, 161 plus the NDP's 9. Conservative Canadian provinces could secede from Canada and create a new West Canada country that would be in alliance with the U.S. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's another option. I mean, if you're talking about West versus East, they could either secede and just have their own country, and then we would protect them militarily, or they could join us. Oh, man. We get it, man. Trump 2028, yep. There he is. There he is. You know it's coming. the French guy, Maxime Bernin, who went on all the right wing talk shows in America. Yeah, he got nothing. It doesn't translate. Going on these American right wing like Theo Von, it's not going to translate in Canada. I mean, maybe doing like a comedian, it's different, but you could do comedians. Daniel, thank you. Would you remove 13% of population for our safety? Well, I believe the updated number is 1361. That's what I heard. I don't know. Conservatives won the youth vote. Well, that's another thing with the election. This election that's interesting. It's all the boomers that are liberal. Even in Canada, in the United States, they're also liberal too now. Boomers are liberal in North America in general. They're trying to protect their wealth. They want globalism to protect their wealth. And that the boomers really hate Trump. I mean, look at Trump's approval rating. It's like Trump's approval rating is positive with pretty much everyone except boomers. That's intel I saw. That's top polling saying that. So yeah, that donation is not. I'm not really gonna play with that, man. Yeah, what's this Raskin bullshit? Raskin and Pasobic? This is his own account. He's breaking his own news. Jack Pasobic tweets out, breaking Jack Pasobic. I mean...
The right to organize unions. Yeah! For redress agreements. We're going to defend the right to assemble. Yeah. We know with Dr. King that the greatness of America is the right to protest for what is right. Against lawbreakers who take office. And that's where we are today. I'll leave you with my friends with the words of the great Marylander Frederick Douglass.
Jamie, why did you lose the popular vote? Why did you lose every single swing state?
Why did you say Trump's election was not going to be certified?
Let me talk. Let me talk. It's not fake. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. They're assaulting you, motherfucker. Why'd you leave?
Who are these, like, commie bodyguards? Socialist bodyguards to the rescue. And there it is. On a Tuesday is crazy. Yeah, they probably... a Tuesday at 11 a.m., 11 a.m. in the morning. Dems are so unhinged. Well, at least they didn't firebomb anything. They're improving. Canada did a student vote where all the under 18s also do a mock vote. Conservatives won that by 20 seats. Got a minority. Hopeful for conservative dominance in the future. Well, what I would ask you is, will there be an election in a year? I mean, they only got 161 seats according to Polymarket. That's not... Because I said it was going to be around 165. I think that's kind of a low number for them. But, I mean, it's a minority, and Carney's really disliked it. I'm guessing he's probably not going to do a good job at leading that country. Pakistan versus India. Let's go big picture. Well, India would defeat Pakistan. If there were nukes involved, Pakistan would send the first one, then India would respond. It looks like the United States is backing India. They seem to be cozying up to them in terms of trade, because they're not trying to rely too... We've got an over-reliance on China. India's growing economy. They've got a huge population. This dates back to like the 40s with the British Raj, and the main region it centers around is Kashmir, which is an Indian region, but it's majority Pakistani. And so there's a lot of problems going on in that area. So, look, I mean, Trump said it best. It's not our problem, and they'll figure it out. Let's hope it doesn't escalate. Thoughts on Jeff Bezos? What about that? You see what Amazon was trying to do today? How about Amazon? Amazon says, oh, you know what? We're going to display the tariff price. We're going to display the tariff price and how much money Americans are not losing, but how much they have to pay in terms of because of the tariffs. And then Trump called Bezos and he said, you're not going to do this. And then Bezos said, all right, we're not doing it. Oh, it's about the thunderstorm. Please don't let anything. It's going to be a thunderstorm. Would Alberta lose territory like Texas when joining the Union? I think it would just. No, I think it's a different situation. They would retain all their territory. Waiting for one of these Ohio storms to hit? Yeah. Yeah, Carney is a globalist. Absolutely. He came in like 3 months ago. They did some sham election. They installed him. I mean, this is typical Canadian, just globalist theater. They install these people. Sorry about the United States is not siding with India against Pakistan. Yeah, they would side with India. But I mean, it's a situation to where we'll have to see how it escalates and who does what in this potential war. But I mean, they've had the territory disputes, since the 40s. Where you're at in Ohio, nonstop thunderstorms all day. Yeah, it's hit or miss this time of year. Some areas will get hit really hard. Other areas, we've missed them the entire day. We've missed the storms. Pierre ran a terrible campaign. He pandered to Jeets and Jews and didn't hammer the immigration at all. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to gauge Canadian politics. Just, you have to understand, if you're viewing them from an American lens, they're a lot more liberal there. So Pierre is going to seem a lot weaker from a conservative perspective in the United States looking from afar. So, I mean, in terms of me criticizing his campaign, I know a lot of I mean, for me to criticize his campaign, I didn't follow it close enough to be able to criticize his campaign. Honestly. You have to understand, he has to disavow Trump. Trump is hated everywhere in Canada. That's the reality. What do you think about the population crash? More of Tim Pool's fear mongering? Well, no, it's happening. It's happening in all the first world countries. Birth rates are extremely low. The reason our population is not declining is because of replacement migration. JD Vance's wife is going to influence India. It doesn't. It's not consequential. India's economy is to the point to where we would much rather side with them over Pakistan. It's not even close. Especially we're looking to diversify outside of China. What do you think the chances of an India-Pakistani war happening? I mean, it's hard to say, man. There's been fighting in that area on and off, forever. In those disputed regions. I mean, it's like 30% chance. But war in terms of what, like an all-out war? I don't know. Hopefully not too high. Did you see the MAGA grandma at the rally today? No, I didn't see that. Yeah, Trump had a rally for his 100 days in Michigan. India is a mini China. Wouldn't we just end up with the same dependence? Well, they don't have manufacturing built up like China. No, we wouldn't India wouldn't they wouldn't grow to be what China is, I don't think. Or it would take too long. But even our relationship with India is just because we need diversity from China. Do a video about Desert Storm, the Gulf War. Having a baby working 12 hours just for the baby to follow the same rat race isn't ideal. Yeah, that's a huge issue. That to me takes a while to solve. It's not doesn't get solved overnight. It's the cost of everything now. With Carney, you already know Trump will pussy whip him at negotiations. Trade deal is going to be insanely one-sided for U.S. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be one-sided either way. But yeah, that's the idea why Trump wanted Carney to win. You've seen street videos of India. Seems like an underdeveloped country. Yeah, they're just like New Delhi and other cities are extremely overpopulated. They have very bad air quality. You know, they hurt their own air with crop burning. They do a lot of crop burning surrounding big cities. Where at the end of the seasons they do it, and from the crop burning, the smog is just the air quality is so terrible in India. And they're trying to like these initiatives to fix it. There's also too many. There's like too many cars. There's just too many people, and the emissions from all the cars because just the sheer amount of people there is just insane. We don't want Canada because they're too liberal. Well, it wouldn't be Canada. It would just be one province. You'd give Trump a C minus so far. Now I'd give him like a B. Why would Canada allow that? It would be a referendum by Alberta. They don't have a lot of say in it. I mean, technically they do have say in it, but it just depends how the United States acts in terms of if about 60 or 70% of them vote on a referendum to become independent. If they want to stay independent or join the United States, Trump could butt in and say, you need to allow this. I mean, what are they really going to do? What is their government going to do? They have no legs to stand on against the United States. But I don't know if Alberta wants to join the United States or be independent. It seems like there's a higher chance they just want to be independent than join the United States. But even them being independent seems like at best right now, like for a referendum, maybe like a 40% chance. I mean, they're probably going to do opinion polls and stuff like that. But I think it has to happen in the next 4 months, they said. India released shit into Pakistan. Well, that's what that war mainly will be. How do you feel about British Columbia becoming a state? I wouldn't like it. Brian Johnson, the anti-aging guy, was doing a podcast with a billionaire in India. And he fucking left the podcast because the pollution in the house was so shit. Wow. But even that anti-aging guy, he doesn't even look young. He looks older than, or like, he doesn't look that good. I was surprised. Alberta could not be independent. They would need to form a government fast, and it's just not possible. I think it's possible. I think they would be better off joining the U.S., but I believe they could be independent. I mean, they already have it in place. It's just adjusting things. I guess it would take time, you're right. Do you really think Alberta would successfully vote for independence? Look at how successful Quebec has been, and there's a lot of sentiment there. Yeah, but Quebec is not. This is a different situation than Quebec. This is a province that is clearly on a different political side than pretty much all of Canada. Quebec is liberal. So, I mean, this is a different thing. And also, you're dealing with less people. So, hypothetically, it could be easier than Quebec. If Trump could get the tax cuts passed, he'll go down as the best president ever. Nah. Wait, what is this? This chat is like glitched. Let me reload this chat. Oh, okay, there we go. Read all arguments about separation. It would take 5 to 10 years of negotiations. What, negotiations between the Canadian government and Alberta? You know, Trump could probably speed that process up very easily. I mean, what leg does Canada have to stand on outside of posturing if people of Alberta vote to leave? But it depends in terms of like the percent. If it's like overwhelming, which I don't think it'll be overwhelming. I mean, if it's like 55-45, then it's like you don't have a lot of leverage to force it. But if you're Trump and it's like 70-30, you can kind of force it, I feel like. Just with the power that the U.S. has. Do you think he will carry out his mass deportation promises? I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people that are going to be deported. They're not going to get to the numbers that people want. They're not realistic because they don't have the money to do it. You want to deport like 2 million people a year. It's not going to happen. Trump was prepared to take Greenland fast. Alberta would be no problem. Well, think about it. Alberta would probably be easier if they had a referendum, because the only way this happens is if they have a referendum and the citizens of Alberta vote for it. So you're justified in taking it. Realistically, what's going on in Greenland? There's really no updates. Funny how France, Germany, EU, and Japan, all of whom have bigger GDPs than Canada, have said that they'll negotiate, while Canada and our deluded leaders think we could beat the U.S. Well, I think a lot of it is they were posturing to try and go up against Trump. Like Trump's the big bad guy. But I mean, they're negotiating, but it's kind of a different situation in terms of our relationship with Canada and how much we trade with them. We want your remember when I started singing that? We want the resources. Yeah, that was. I mean, it's only a minority rule, so we'll see. I mean, they could have another election in a year. We don't know. When do you think the referendum will be? I think it has to be in 120 days. The Alberta's premier extended the time for referendum. I don't know exactly though, but maybe like 120 days or something. Within 3 or 4 months, they need to have some polls. Yeah, I know. She just dropped it to 177K. I did talk about that at the beginning of the video. I'm probably going to do a video on that tomorrow. I might as well just go to that right now and leave it on there. It's a little bright. tax cuts under 200K would boost Trump's approval. Well, absolutely. The question is, where does the revenue come from to supplement that? I mean, we're already $2 trillion in terms of a deficit, so you're going to be even more, and we need to generate revenue somewhere to offset that if we're going to give more tax breaks under 200K, whether it's the income tax or whatever. I think he wants to eliminate the income tax or significantly lower it for, he said, under 200K. I'm not sure how it gets replaced. That's not going to get replaced with tariff money. They're not going to generate enough tariff money for that. We don't want the deficit spiraling more than it already is, because it's $2 trillion per year basically right now, or maybe like 1.9 or something. Thoughts on Shador to the Browns? It's a circus. Haslam called it in, made him take him. It's typical Haslam. Canada has elections whenever because it's a frozen banana republic. It is weird how they do it. It's very strange. Liberal and NDP do have majority. Check the official results. It's 175 combined. Oh, well then probably market was way off in terms of what they were projecting, or maybe it was just, if they've got the majority, then I don't see them calling an election unless Carney's horrible. So are they going to form a coalition? Trump is a good start, but you feel like JD is a downgrade. Will be less conservative when we want more in 2028. Yeah, I mean, JD is still young in terms of his political career, so there's a lot that we really don't know about JD that I'm sure we're going to learn when it comes to the campaign trail and everything like that. He's still very, very young. And like what is he, 43 right now? So it's hard to really gauge JD. Like, if you want him to be a hardcore right wing dude, obviously he's not going to be that. Removing income tax for the middle class is cheap. No, it's not. I know what you're saying because the rich have a significant burden, but it's not. I think it's like $2 trillion or maybe like $1 trillion. It's a lot of money, dude. That's a lot. The government generates a ton of money through the income tax. But I know what you're saying. The rich have such a high burden because of capitalism. Vance is 40. I don't know why I thought he was 43. Oh, he was 39 and then turned 40. So he'll be 43 during the cycle, during the campaign cycle, 44 possibly as president. You been thinking Rubio would be a good running mate for Vance? I'd say no on Rubio. Rubio has a Middle Eastern itch to scratch. It's not something we would want. But I mean, we'll see what Rubio does with the Middle East. They're saying they don't want escalation with Iran. I don't know if I haven't heard much what Rubio thinks of that, but a lot of the cabinet is saying no. When are we going to invade Mexico? There's no way you invade Mexico. I mean, we'll see if they do the cartel strikes, though. Do you think we are overblowing the Canadian election? Well, it depends what type of value you put on it. I mean, I don't assign a huge value to it. I just find it interesting that maybe because Carney wins, Alberta might secede, and so I do videos on it. But to me, either way, it's not a huge deal. They're just so much more. So they're very powerless compared to the United States. It might have a slight impact, but they're going to have Canada with their situation in terms of their population. They're going to be bringing in immigrants no matter what, no matter who wins, or no matter who won. '22nd Amendment says no person should run, cannot run Shall is not the same as, yeah, but you're just trying to reinterpret it. That's not, no, it's not going to work that way. I think they're trying to do something else to get around the 22nd Amendment entirely, but I don't think it's likely. So since the Libs won the minority, will there be another election next year? I don't know. I mean, if they form a coalition, I don't think. I think they're going to form a coalition. That would be my guess. The NDP and the Liberals. Increase tax on poor to lower for middle class. What is that? What is that? A troll? I mean, Trump's talked about raising taxes on rich people. He did it in a way during his first term in liberal states. He's done it before, so we'll see what Trump ends up doing with that. You know, it's more so about the overseas accounts and the subversion of paying taxes with corporations that are extremely wealthy. That's what they need to look for. They can definitely find some hidden value in terms of some of these companies having offshore overseas accounts. The talks are already happening about separation. Our premier lowered the required signature. I mean, that's what this is right here. Thoughts on North Maine secessionist movement from the United States? I never heard of that. I've heard a lot like the splitting, and do they want to split into a different state, or they want to leave the United States? Seems like that they wouldn't have much power. Trump should seize Amazon's assets. So they already said they're not doing they're not doing what they said. They're not doing the price comparison with the tariffs. Trump talked to Bezos about it. Just think if FDR never got elected for a third term, 22nd Amendment probably would not exist. Trump would get elected a third. But think about Trump's age as well. That's another thing to play into. When you're 83, it's like we're trying to get younger as a country anyways. Will Nick Fuentes have a movement in GOP primaries in 2036? By then, anti-Israel sentiment. Yeah, I don't know about 2036, man. Come on. No from the rest of Maine. Oh yeah, I mean that happens. So they're conservative in northern Maine, I'm guessing. But I mean, Maine in general is a swing state. Is there really much of a reason to do it? Is it just rural area, very conservative people in northern Maine trying to leave? A large majority of Albertans are deeply frustrated that the same government that overtly attacked our provisional economy serious about separation. Yeah, this is the thing that I talked about. Tulsi 2028. I saw Tulsi was second in terms of polls or betting. Which yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I haven't heard much of Tulsi within the administration yet. You know, I'm sure she'll definitely be involved with stuff. DG will not endorse DJT28, but let's still do it. Well, it's just not realistic, man. I mean, why would I endorse anything 3.5 years from it happening? You know, it's Vance Tulsi 28 ticket would be winning. I mean, yeah, because you get kind of you balance. It's a balanced ticket. It would be a balanced ticket. I mean, it depends how Trump's agenda. That's what it matters in terms of Vance, because he's just going to be an extension of the Trump agenda. Show the bitch going off in Texas today. I mean, who are you talking about? Will Cali ever turn red? No. Not anytime soon. Too big of a population. If Alberta joins the U.S., it would go to the Democrats? Not necessarily. And also, it's a process to even join. I mean, I think they'd be a territory and then a state, but it takes like 4 or 5 years anyways to become a state. How do you feel about Reagan and what he did to the demographics? I think a lot of it's revisionist. I mean, giving amnesty is obviously really bad. But if you told Reagan that the country would be 61% white in 2025, I mean, it's just the demographic shift has been so crazy, like from 90 to 2010 in terms of the immigration. It's just, you could argue Reagan was a part of that, but a lot of these presidents that implemented like the 1965 Immigration Act and what Reagan did with amnesty, they never thought it would get this drastic this quickly. No chance. What's up with young liberal women obsession over Luigi Mangione? It's this like virtue signal. Oh, healthcare's so terrible. He's a hero because he shot some dude in the back of the head. That's all it is. Manitoba would join Alberta, Saskatchewan to leave. I don't know. Maybe they would. Maybe they wouldn't. Governor of Ohio, I would imagine it's going to be Ramaswamy. I'd be pretty surprised if it wasn't. You know, there's been a few polls that have come out. He's up by a ton. People think with Ramaswamy, like so many people online hate him because of the H-1B stuff. But you have to understand, there's a lot of just normie people that still like Vivek. And Vivek got Trump's endorsement extremely early. And Mike Johnson's endorsement, like pretty much all of MAGA, like mainstream MAGA endorsed Vivek already. Luigi Mangione could have been something. Did you see some of his posts? He seemed like a pretentious asshole. When people talk like that, I just get so annoyed. Progressive conservative Doug Ford is partying because not only did Pierre lose, he lost his leadership job. Pierre said he would stay. Yeah, isn't he taking somebody else's seat? They're giving it up. Is Rogan a moderate? I mean, I haven't watched Rogan recently. Liberals will say he's conservative. He's probably moderate. Yeah, he's probably moderate. Maybe you could say lean right. Did you see Mark Carney and his wife dancing? Yeah, what is that elbow, like, weird shit that they were doing? Goth brunette. Hot. How have I been? Any potato soup? It's too warm for potato soup. Not too warm for potato soup, man. That's a winter meal. It's a winter meal. I haven't been eating a lot, honestly. I've been eating healthier. That's the thing. But if I eat healthier, I can't eat as many calories. I just if I'm eating chicken, dude, I only like 1,800 calories in a day if I eat chicken, because it's just filling and it's not. Rogan is moderate, center left at most. Only a left hood will. Well, I mean, we're gonna do this thing between liberals and conservatives. Liberals call Rogan conservative. Conservatives call Rogan liberal. So I guess he is a moderate then. Liberals are mad that Luigi's potentially getting death penalty instead of life in prison like mass shooters get. Yeah, they want to send a message. You're right, 100%. I mean, we'll see. That's just more notoriety for him when that trial happens. Will Kane, James Carville. Carville's a complete loon. What, on Fox News?
I do want to press you on one thing, and I appreciate that you've criticized the left wing of your party, James. I truly do.
Right,
and I think that you're right when you say leaning into gender identity and pronouns and the feminine nature of the current message of Democrats is a loser. I have to tell you, James, I also think it's a loser to do something that you have done, and that is to constantly equate President Trump to Hitler, constantly equate this to an authoritarian regime. I think you've got to find a positive message and stop hyperventilating over the dystopian future of America.
So let's look. Ed Martin, who Trump has appointed U.S. attorney in Washington, D.C., has a long history of entertaining people with, shall we say, rather right-wing views. Trump, according to his wife in a deposition, kept a copy of Mein Kampf on his night
heard you say
table.
this.
Trump has
2015.
said that he admires the generals that Hitler had. He wish he had more
This
generals.
dude's trolling, man. This is all the same shit.
Hitler does. He sides with authoritarian countries. Okay? Do you have to wait till he becomes Hitler to make the and let's not talk about Elon Musk, who's the biggest thing, who said that Hitler was not responsible for the Holocaust. It was actually the postmen,
James, I'm telling you,
employees
James,
that did it.
I could debate you on the media representation.
You asked me a question,
listen,
and I'm telling you why I think it's something that needs to be brought up. His fascination with right-wing authoritarianism and his fascination with Mein Kampf. I think it needs to be
James,
brought up.
I think the vast majority of that is hyperventilating. It is half-truths reported from media. And I think more than anything, for someone who's written a book entitled It's About Winning, Stupid, it's a loser for you, James, because the American people don't believe it because it doesn't manifest in their lives. Like, you keep projecting.
The guy's trolling. I mean, he's trolling sensationalism. Was that? No scandals, Urban Meyer, right? Alberta just met the threshold to trigger a referendum. The threshold was in 2019. It's not eligible. Well, that's unfortunate. This is the student election. Some old loon. Yeah, some dude trolls constantly. Man, what a weird sky. EA said he reads 2 chapters of Mein Kampf before going to bed in his World War III. Yeah, Mein Kampf it's an overrated read, honestly. But it's the big thing with the Groypers and then the far right now. The boomers really did elect Carney. There's a boomer problem and just in the United States as well. Look at Trump's approval rating when you sort it by age. You're unbelievably far right. When I was younger, I was further right, I think. I don't know. You should do an amateur storm chasing vids for this tornado season. But I don't get tornadoes in Ohio. Yeah, we don't get tornadoes here. Plus, it really wouldn't fit with my content. I appreciate the suggestion, though. I do want to do more videos in front of a camera. I mean, I guess I'm in front of a camera now, but, you know, an actual camera, more things. I don't know exactly what, but something just better content. But it's hard to really materialize content like that when you're just doing it like you have a political channel. No, I agree with Mein Kampf. Yeah, it's a lot of rambling. It's just a lot of bitching and complaining. But I mean, I studied World War II, and so yeah, it's interesting history, that's for sure. You're very excited to see the demographics of this election because everyone under 50 voted conservative by at least 5 points, but the boomers swung plus 60 to, that seems crazy. Plus 60 to Carney. 60 points to Carney, the boomers. Well, then your country was cucked by old people. If that's true. Do a greater Virginia movement, a combined of Virginia and West Virginia. Yeah, that's a video idea. But I got this, you know, I'm gonna layer my videos because you've got the new pay period coming up in May. There's only 30 days in April. Yeah, so with the new pay period, I'll definitely hit it's boom, 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 boom. You know, I want to stack good videos up. So it's gonna be a lot of this. I mean, even that video I did today, if you look at that, I think that video is probably gonna get like 170K views, 200K maybe. You know, I knew it would do very well. It's just because of it's relevant and that those type of videos about land territorial changes are get really good views. What's wrong with keeping a Mein Kampf for the sake of history? Well, I mean, it's fine, but people fanboy over it. You actually need to read it. It's a lot of rambling. Um, Only recently we have heard translated speeches of Hitler. Well, Hitler's not going to go out on a public forum and talk about committing war crimes. That's the thing with Hitler's speeches. It's like people are like, I'm so shocked at how elegant he sounds and how nice it is, and it's just pure nationalism for Germany. Well, yeah, you're not going to say we're going to commit all these war crimes and things like that. But look, the thing is, it's not the correct forum for a discussion on something like that. My For You page is always on this. It's always bad. It shows a bunch of sports on here. I don't know why. 100K signatures, more than 50% of the threshold. Well, hopefully this is true. I don't know. This account's been tweeting out some fake stuff. Yeah, this woman's a weirdo.
Islam is the religion of rape, incest, and pedophilia, where they bow down to a stupid rock and a false prophet. I will never let you be allowed to protect this.
Huh. Kentucky is part of the Greater Virginia group. That would be a big state. Did you see the painting Putin gifted Trump? Yeah, I saw it. It was kind of a weird painting. The painting kind of looked like Putin. It looked like a like Putin's older brother that's taller than him. If you look at that painting. You know who this girl is, like Valentina Gomez, I think, or something. The girl, I mean, the woman, guys. This is not how you defeat tough stuff like this. I mean, it's. Europe will eventually elect another nationalist leader as whiplash reaction to the far left. Well, I agree. As long as there's not an. The thing is, if there's too many migrants there, the demographics change. It's going to be hard for the people to actually do it. But I think they will do it. But people say, I mean, I tell people they're going to do that, and then people say it's already lost. So I don't know. Some people say it's already lost. Wow, it does look like there's going to be military action. Now, what type of action this will be, we don't know. What do you think about the... What if there was an East Coast California for states merging? Yeah, I mean, it's like the state of Washington and Northern California. That's what it would be. When people cry gerrymandering, if Idaho, Virginia goes through. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to go through, but it's not gerrymandering. The state, the areas are voting for it. Gerrymandering is when you draw state lines, you draw districts differently. This is not really doing that. This is just people trying to go to states that share their way of life. So, I mean, you could equate it to gerrymandering, but it's gerrymandering by the people, not by politicians redrawing lines. If Hitler was so evil, so was Churchill, so was all of them. Well, there's a lot of revisionist history when it comes to World War II. We know the saying, the winner's right, the victor's right history, but when you look at World War II, there is a lot of people, well, they blame France and Britain for making it a global world war. I mean, you're talking about invading 4 countries. There's going to be a reaction from Western Europe. You invade 4 countries or annex 2 countries. I mean, you annex Austria, you annex 1/3 of Czechoslovakia, you invade all of Czechoslovakia, you invade Poland in an agreement with the USSR. But there's gonna be a pushback against that. Like, do you think the Greater Idaho movement will come to fruition? I think it's very hard for it to happen. But to me, it's the best chance because it's out west. It has an actual base. It has counties that have already voted for it. Like 13 counties voted in favor of leaving. They already have it. It's just they have to get the state legislature of Oregon to agree to it. Oregon's not going to agree to lose land. That's the problem. It'd have to be federally forced, I think. Did you see Ilhan Omar bitching? Yeah, the United States probably did something good and she got mad. She doesn't. Some people don't like the United States. They're in our government. They don't like the United. Ilhan Omar's a great example. She doesn't like the country. She doesn't want to see it succeed. Like, legit, she does not like the country. She got elected, though. Did you hear about that jet falling? I think I saw something on that. Oh, Stalin definitely. Well, the U.S. The Soviet Union committed serious war crimes, real bad stuff, especially when they got into Berlin. But even before then, when they starved the Ukraine, they originally said, well, it's 10 million dead. Then they revised it to 3 million. But there was a lot of death in World War II, and it was a different time. It's hard to equate and compare, especially when you talk about Nazi Germany, Soviet Union. I mean, that's some brutal stuff. Well, that's what they always say about the Eastern Front. It's brutal wars, Stalingrad. She got elected because Obama flooded Minneapolis with Somalis. Yeah, I know they denied that. I think it probably is true. But the thing is, the problem is with there's white liberals that would vote for someone like that. I know it seems crazy. It seems like there's no way they have to flood the city with, migrants to get her to win. White liberals will, if they're in a big city, they'll just always vote liberal no matter who the candidate is. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. You always found nuclear warfare pointless. You don't even get any spoils of the land the explosions cause. Well, that's not the point. The point is to eliminate the enemy and them from destroying you. But I understand what you're saying. Stalin killed more than Hitler. Well, yeah, I know. Well, there's a Mao also. Pol Pot. But I mean, it's just the context of World War II is so hard to frame because there were so many terrible war crimes committed. Look at what the premier of Alberta just said. I think I saw it. I was talking about it earlier. Do you think Hitler would have won the war if he had not opened up the Eastern Front? Well, it would have happened anyways. They had Barbarossa. They were going to launch Barbarossa in May of 41, like mid-May. They had to help the Italians fight off Yugoslavia and Greece. And so that's what delayed it. And then, like, well, he shouldn't have invaded in the winter. Well, he invaded in June. It just lasted until the winter, and then that's when they got fucked over. And he vastly underestimated the Soviet Union's ability to produce tanks and weapons, and the U.S. had the Lend and Lease Act. I mean, we sent them so much money and so much aid. And well, you fight two fronts, you're fucked. You really are. That's why he wanted peace with the British and France originally, and then they declared war on him after the invasion of Poland, which honestly I think is understandable. That's why they always say Churchill's this warmonger. He declared war on Germany. Germany didn't want it. Well, yeah, that's because Germany was gaining substantial territory in Europe. There's going to be a reaction to that. That was the whole appeasement problem with Chamberlain. And then they try and justify it. There's a lot of people that try. They're like, "Oh, it's all actually German-speaking areas," but it doesn't matter. I mean, if you're that aggressive, there's going to be a response. It's just the reality. I mean, look at the response to Putin taking 1/5 of Ukraine. Obviously, we haven't escalated to a full-blown war, but some people want it. World War II happened because Germany was punished beyond. Well, yeah, because they got lied to, and at the end of World War One. Do you think bringing white South Africans will make a dent in reversing demographic trend? No, I don't think they even want to come to the United States, white South Africans. Maybe a few of them would. I don't think it changes anything, though, in terms of that. I don't think they have the population even to do that. There would have to be a mass migration. If the Germans develop nuclear weapons first, we might be speaking German. Well, they did develop the V2 rocket. It was like the first, the baby version of it. But yeah, it's not nuclear capability. Are we about to go to war with China? What, you mean over Taiwan? Or you mean over India, Pakistan? No, there's not going to be anything with India, Pakistan to where I don't think it'll escalate. I mean, even if something happens, I think it has to be contained. When is the GDP announcement? I don't know. I thought it was the 25th. Which is GDP Q1. Now this is Kelshi. Expectation is minus 0.4. Listen, if it is minus anything, people will say it's a recession 100%. Well, that's why the whole thing with a recession, it's like, is it really that big of a difference if it's minus 0.4 versus plus 0.4? That's why they don't like using that definition of the word recession like that. AOC presidential ad, I saw that. She's like, we're all the same. Well, they went to like Idaho and they tried to be like, well, no, we love everyone. We love the rural whites and everything. So they're already rolling it out for AOC, and they're doing it. It's like a feeder thing with Bernie. It's like Bernie's the father, and it's AOC is the new young gun under the socialist rule of Bernie. Because Bernie had all the young people captured. Well, not all the young people, but some of the young people captured in 2016. And did you see the dispute that China and the Philippines had over that little island? Yeah, that was a puny thing. I think it's within the Filipino waters, that's why. You would not get involved when China and Taiwan think, well, yeah, we'll get involved via proxy by sending them weapons and stuff. Taiwan. Just put money on conservative majority. It's not even possible. They won't allow you to bet that. $998K more views last night would have beaten U.S.'s election. Yeah, that's a steep drop off. But I was happy. That was a good. You know, you get the blood flowing a little bit more. Although not really. It was kind of a mellow stream. But it's good. You know, I know when there's more people watching, you can tell the chat moves faster. So, and it was a fun time. But when you're just waiting for votes to come in, it's kind of just you just got to entertain. There's not much you can really do. See if this has moved at all. Come on, they gotta decrease it in June. You know, depend on the tariff deals if they'll decrease it in June. You want rapid response? I mean, it's just the same bullshit. But I'll go to it for you guys.
I want to turn, I was just in Rome, and to that moving photograph of you and President Zelensky sitting in St. Peter's Basilica talking peace. It went around the world.
Sure.
Take us into that moment.
Well, look, the Ukraine is a very serious, very tough situation. And this is Biden's war. This is not my war, but I want to see if I can solve it because probably close to 5,000 young soldiers a week are being killed, Russian and Ukrainian. We also spend a tremendous amount of money in Ukraine, and Europe should be spending much more than us. They're not. They're spending much less. It's been badly handled by the Biden administration. It's been badly handled all the way around, the way around.
That moment.
The moment was a moment of solace, in a sense, because tremendous numbers of people are dying. A lot of his people are dying. They're being killed. And I feel very badly about it. I feel very badly about it. That's a war that would have never happened if I were president. And it didn't happen for 4 years. It was never even a thought of it happening.
Yeah, but what's the solution? They're going to have to do something to Russia to pressure them. And they're talking about imposing sanctions or tariffs or something. I don't know if that's really going to work.
The person that you're talking about, you're making this person sound, this is a MS-13 gang member, a tough cookie, been in lots of skirmishes, beat the hell out of his wife, and the wife was petrified to even talk about him, okay? This is not an innocent, wonderful gentleman from Maryland.
I'm not saying he's a good guy. It's about the rule of law. The order from the Supreme Court stands,
he came
sir.
into our country illegally.
Right, but doesn't the Supreme Court order we have to assist in his journey back to the United States, but we can't pry him out of El Salvador if they don't want to send him to us. Your Alberta video is up to 165K. Yeah, that's a big bump up. That's a good situation for me. You like to see that. But at the beginning of May, just sprinkle all the videos, all the Alberta videos, one video a day for 7 days. Just start off with a good revenue in May when it resets. Yeah, people were mad at Trump for wearing the suit, but it's kind of funny because they made such a huge deal about back when Republicans got mad at Obama. But there were a lot of people wearing blue suits. It was kind of an irrelevant thing to even say. He'll make it a political thing because he wore a blue at the funeral. That's just disrespectful. We'll tell that to the other people that were in the front row that also did it. I mean, it's like half of the audience was in blue. $222K views in 9 hours. That's wait, it's up to 222K. Let me check it right now. Let me take a look at this. It's at 252 right now. Yeah, because on YouTube it doesn't update. It doesn't update fast enough. It's at 252, but it is starting to peter off. I can tell from the analytics it's starting to peter off. It's getting 12K per hour. So it's petering off. So it might get to 300, maybe like 285, and then it'll die. It'll die at like 285, 300. Any updates on Alberta leaving? Yeah, well, they're in an early process of setting up a referendum right now. They have to have enough signatures for a referendum or pledges. Navy blue is that appropriate color to wear at the funeral? Takes 1 minute. Yeah, I mean, it's just trying to cherry pick anything on Trump. They think you should wear black because it's somber. You like how people think Trump is awful? What do you think the Harris administration would have been like? Well, obviously, we're conservatives. It'd be a lot worse for us. The immigration would be totally out of control. And think about that. Trump is Biden could have fixed immigration very easily. Trump fixed it in a day. Now, he hasn't deported enough people, I'll agree, but he fixed it in like a day. I've been watching you for a while and you seem to be a super smart dude. What would you recommend for a 17-year-old? Well, I don't know your life. I don't know what your expertise and skill is. So it depends what your grades are and what you want to go into and what you want to study. But for young men, it's if it's just an average degree, it's hard to say to tell you that unless your degree is like paid for on scholarship or something. If you're gonna have debt with an average degree, I would be against that, honestly. Oh, it's storming really bad. Q1 GDP will be around 0.2% growth. I mean, we're going to decipher like, oh, it's plus 0.2, minus 0.1. If it's minus 0.1, they'll say, oh, it's a recession. It's crazy. Oh, look, he's all dressed up today, yeah. Man, it's storming really bad.
All I can say is this. If you're going to have 21 million people, and if we have to get a lot of them out because they're criminals, we're going to have to act fast. We can't. Do you think we can give 21 million trials? Let's say each trial takes 2 weeks. Is that what you want us to do?
The law is the law, sir. The law is the law, and you're
the law
sworn
doesn't
to
say anything
uphold it.
about trials.
No, not trials. Hearings. I said
These
hearings.
people came in. They're not citizens. They came in illegally. They came into our country illegally.
And
we have to get them out.
There's a legal process for that.
I can't, sure, and we follow the legal process. I can't have a trial, a major trial for every person that came in illegally.
How close are some provinces to leaving? Is it legit? It would be Alberta, and then maybe a cascade effect for other provinces like Saskatchewan, which is right next to Alberta. It's to the east. But Alberta is in the very early stages. We don't even know if they have enough support in terms of a referendum to even get it moving. But if they have a referendum and they get more than a simple majority, if they get like a 60% that leave, then you're talking about they either become independent, but they have to negotiate with the Canadian government. And I think they have to amend their and there's like a whole process for it. It's a complicated thing. It's not as simple as just having a referendum. Unless they wanted to join the United States, then probably Trump would step in and try and force it. And I don't know what Canada would do about that. But the Canadian government's going to try and have a say because they're obviously going to try and keep Alberta. The amount of money that Alberta generates with their resources and is very important to Canada. So it would be a huge loss for them. Why is the Fed chairman liberal? Isn't he supposed to be non-political? Yeah, it's really bad. And, they've been nice to Powell and Trump's been really nice to him. And he continues the liberal rhetoric. It's just not necessary. And it's just the same liberal bullshit talking points with Powell over and over and over again. There's no talk of anything about the inflation going down or anything like that. So, I mean, it's unfortunate. I think they're waiting to see when Trump makes these deals, and then maybe they'll be nicer to Trump, but I don't know. Do you think J-Proof is a good buy? No. It's way too high in market cap. I mean, what are you looking for, like a 3x? I know it's came down a bit, but we want your resources. We don't need any more Democratic voters. They wouldn't necessarily be Democrat in Alberta. If anything, it'd be swing state at worst, I think. People will disagree with that, though. Given the election results, what percent chance do you think of Alberta leaving? Probably like 20%, 30% maybe. If we're this close to World War III, you'd rather have a president with a backbone? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we need actual leadership when we're talking about war and dealing with it. the Democrat like cabal of whatever it is, like the cesspool of Kamala and Biden, and it's like nobody's in charge and we don't know. We can't have that. It's dishevelment. The Elon attorney, is that on here? Talking about tariffs. Yeah, no, this is the right answer. It's the right answer, talking about his border success in terms of closing it. We will always protect Medicare and Social Security for our great seniors with no cuts, and we'll defend Medicaid for those people that are in need. Well, we have to look at the fraud in it, though. I mean, it's Alberta comparable to Ohio. Yeah, that's what I say. I don't think that's true, man. You hear of the Michigan Trump impeachment files? What, that they just found? Dems want to impeach Trump. They have no power to do so. They don't have any power to impeach him. You see what Rand Paul said? Rand Paul's got to stop doing this. The thing is with the tariffs, you can, if you're a Republican and you don't like the tariffs, that's one thing. But we can't do this thing where you're meddling and you're trying to, like, we can't have this. The tariffs have to stay on at this point because it's a strategy. Congress cannot act and remove the tariffs because now we're negotiating with countries. Why would we remove the tariffs? We've already suffered through the economy turmoil. So now we're getting to the fruits of our labor in the negotiation process and better trade deals. We can't remove the tariffs now. That would be a bad mistake. The tariffs have to stay on now. Even if you don't like the tariffs, they have to stay on. Would you object to Trump's face on Mount Rushmore? Well, I mean, is it necessary right now? Let's see what he does his second term. Do you think you could do 100 push-ups in a row? I definitely, like 2 years ago, I for sure could. If I had to, I could. Now I might succumb to like exhaustion. Yeah, like 100 push-ups in a row. And the thing is with push-ups, when they try and have like competitions, you challenge your friend. It's always fake push-ups. You don't fully go down. But there's no way right now in my current. I mean, definitely 2 years ago I could do it. I don't know if 100's a lot in a row. Like fake push-ups maybe, where you're just spamming them. You're spamming them, but you're not going all the way down. You've got a arched back. He's hurting Trump's agenda, but it doesn't, like, the thing is, it's retardio. We've enacted this plan. We cannot just get rid of it. We're finally coming to the fruits of the labor with the deals. That's the point. Need a Barron Trump interview? Dude is quiet. Yeah, I'll get Barron on soon. Barron will come on. What's your what's your peak mile time? Probably like 650, 630 maybe. Alberta government just teed up a citizens referendum. I know. Yeah, I'll do a video on that tomorrow. Have you ever done the 5 challenge in weightlifting? You start with 5 or 10 reps, just the bar, and then add 5 pounds until you get to 25 pounds. No, I've never done that. I didn't do much bench press. I did a dumbbell press mainly. Did Zelensky drop a meme coin yet to fund the war? Yeah, it's called Daddy Z. His meme coin's called Daddy Z. He launched it on Pump Fun. It didn't graduate. You like to run a lot? No, it hurt my ankles when I ran. Thoughts on the arrest of the judge in New Mexico and Wisconsin? Well overdue. Well overdue. And I don't even know why they would be protesting those arrests. They're like, well, the judge hid the illegal immigrant under her like stand. Dude, imagine she's like at her stand, like order in the court, and then you just hear this like illegal immigrant from under the desk just like trying to eat like a friggin' honey bun. And they're like, who is that? And then she's like, and then did you see the wait, I think it's Duggan or something. So this is one of the funniest things. You got to see this. Maybe, is this her name? So, dude, this is hilarious. So they released so they put out the AI first photo of this woman, the judge that got arrested, and it was clearly AI, but boomers believed it. So they put out this one and boomers believed it. And then people started putting out this one and said, all right, the first one was AI, but this is the real one. So they're like, the first one was AI. This is the official mugshot. It's even worse than the AI version. Looks like the lady from Goonies. And people thought this was real. So they're both AI. That's the thing. They're both AI. It's AI on top of it. They should do another one. They should make another AI one and be like, all right, the first two were AIs, but this is the real one. Saw a couple Lego videos of yours. Was thinking of doing a Lego train set at some point. Is that too expensive? Well, no, I mean, it depends. It depends where you're buying it. You get a train for pretty cheap, but it depends where you want to buy it from. Well, now the tariffs, my Chinese supply is... AliExpress is putting a hurting on us. We can't really do that anymore. Trump has ruined it. Trump has ruined the AliExpress pathway for alt bricks. Make another AI and then be like, okay, the first two were AIs, but this is the real one. Like, people thought this was real. People thought this was real. Imagine if this was actually legit. And this is what the mugshot was. Cat turd. Left is AI generated, right is official. I like both of them. No, they're both AI generated. JD Vance News. See, now they got these accounts that are just news of people. News. Not the other thing. Yeah, I posted it too under a thing. I was like, they should use this.
Woohoo! Canada, you did it. You chose hope over hate. Unity over division.
Trump, take note. This is what democracy looks like.
Mark.
Why do they keep talking about Trump? Trump wasn't even within the election. And of course, Canada's extremely liberal. It's not surprising the liberal wins. So the Bezos Amazon tariff cost announcement, was it real? Well, originally it was rumored to be real, and then Trump called Bezos and he took it off. See what we have to deal with? Yeah, that's not good. Did you hear about a right-winger suing Meta? No, I didn't hear about that. Should we invade Canada and install a loyal government that loves Trump? Well, it's... You want a puppet government. Probably wouldn't go over well within the world. How much money did Carney stuff those two asses for them to make that? You should have seen what the Harris campaign was doing. They were hiring like 7-year-old kids to campaign in TikTok videos. Kamala was their campaign. Saw an online poll. Would you rather Puerto Rico or Canada be the 51st state? It was 80% Puerto Rico. Neither. Really, neither. Definitely not Puerto Rico. No, Puerto Rico wants to remain a territory from what I've heard. What's your take on podcast grifters? There's just too many podcasts. There's too many podcasts. There's the comedians. All they do is talk politics now. It's just gotten tiring. I used to listen to politics back or podcasts back in like 2017, 2018 to 2021, basically, is when I listened to podcasts, because that's when I would work out and I had a job that I could just tune it out and put in my AirPods. You'll train me to be strong for free. You're gonna put me on a workout plan. Get in better shape. I mean, I'm in pretty good shape, honestly, but I need to gain muscle, I guess. I don't know. Would Canada just allow Alberta to secede without a fight? No, they would fight it. Their government would negotiate with Alberta. You know, podcasts have gotten bad when Mike Obama's doing them. Everybody has a podcast. You're right. It's just totally oversaturated now. YouTube feels dry right now. No substance. Well, the problem, a lot of it is the short form content, like with TikTok and stuff. It's taken a lot of creativity away from YouTubers. Puerto Rico should be given to Denmark in exchange for Greenland. Yeah, Puerto Rico wouldn't want that though. They wouldn't want to be under Denmark. How many hours of sleep do you average? About I sleep from about 2 or 3 to 7 or 8, around there. Not until you look like Sam Sulek. That's not possible, Natty. You can't do that, Natty. Albertan here, it's actually happening. Well, right now there's going to be a lot of momentum for it because the Albertans are pissed off because of this election result. So we'll see if this can parlay into anything. Who said anything about Natty? Oh, I'm staying. I'm a lifetime Natty. I can't do anything. I'm not gonna do anything. Not because for me it's not worth it. Wait to see if Saskatchewan and Manitoba follow suit. Yeah, that's what we're waiting for, really. I appreciate the 499 thoughts on India, Pakistan potentially going nuclear. What would be the fallout? Well, it needs to be contained. It needs to be a regional conflict. Trump made a statement saying it'll be solved by them. The United States would back India, and there's been fighting within the Kashmir region. I mean, it's on and off. It's a disputed area. So I don't think it'll go nuclear. If it does, it'd probably be Pakistan and then India retaliating. Do you have pollen allergies? I don't have any allergies. Stay natty, bro. That said, get strong. It'll make you feel fucking amazing. Yeah, no, you do get a rush. You get when you work out. It's a positive thing for the brain. I understand. I haven't worked out in so long. That's a thing. India will win by TKO. India is going to drop their air onto Pakistan. All their air pollution. What if they just dropped garbage? It's garbage bombs. Did you see Trump remove Doug Emhoff from the Holocaust Memorial Council? I didn't see that, no. What did liberals put Emhoff on there? Glad Trump is staying out of the India-Pakistan beef. Yeah, that was a really good response. That was a really good response from Trump. 100%.
And you've got a few thousand people.
We're up around 7,000 right now. But David, just to show the viewers how it differs, just click on there on baby boomers.
Okay, so now we're saying this is all respondents. This is just people who are boomers. What do they think is the top issue?
Canada-U.S. relations. So you see one of the reasons why older people are voting for the Liberal Party. The Liberal Party is way ahead on this issue. They own it. And if you're a boomer, you're focused on it.
Okay, now you wanted to contrast with...
Trump obsession.
Let's talk to our friends in Gen Z.
Gen Z. What do they think is the top issue?
Affordability and cost of living. So when you look at... Yeah, and so when you look at the differences...
And that map, sorry to interrupt, but that map...
You got to feel bad for the young people in Canada. Giannis, 2013 lost in OT to Pacers. Yeah, but the Bucks kind of have a weird team. They've got a absolute superstar in Giannis, but they weren't that good this year. Boomers ruin it. Mainstream media keeps talking about the shelves about to be empty because they're trying to equate the tariffs in terms of the supply chain issue. But I think that got solved. Trump solved that, I believe. Do you think stopping Indians from pooping on America's streets is racist? What in the... You know, they put up signs in Canada on the beaches, you can't poop in here for Indians. On the beaches of Canada. Boomers ruined both USA and Canada. Well, I mean, there's a lot of animosity against boomers because of how they grew up relative to what they're leaving it. And, you know, they sell their homes to BlackRock, and they're obsessed with the 401ks, and it was a lot easier for them when they were younger, and now the housing is out of control. There's a supply and demand problem with housing. There's not enough houses. So the market is out of control. Send them to San Francisco. Yeah, that's a good idea in terms of the amount of public feces they have.
So your answer to the concern about the tariffs is everything's going to be hunky-dory?
Everything's going to be just fine. It wouldn't have been if I didn't do this. I had a choice. I could leave it, have a nice, easy time, but I think ultimately you would have had an implosion. Our country had inflation that was worse than they've ever had it before. You don't mention that. Why don't you mention that? We had the worst inflation probably in the history of our country. People say 48 years. Probably in the history of our country, we had the worst inflation. And people were dying over the inflation. You know that. Now the grocery prices are coming down. The energy prices are coming down. Gasoline's coming down. It's all heading in the right direction.
He's right on that. It is, and the people aren't talking about it. How do we address the demographic issues in the U.S.? Well, you would have to stop immigration, and you'd have to put in initiatives to kickstart birth rate improvement. The play-ins ruin the regular season of basketball. I think the play-ins are a gimmick. They are dumb. Should just be 8 teams in the playoff. They got like 10 teams in, but it's a gimmick play-in. I mean, the NBA's bleeding right now. They're losing support. They don't play defense. They shoot a bunch of threes. What do you expect? They rest their players every other night. Load management.
Are you prepared to pay higher prices for goods?
I've been paying higher prices, sweetie, in the last, when Biden got in office, my groceries have doubled, my gas has doubled. No, I'm already used to it, I'm not used to it.
You're prepared for more. We're looking at, with the tariffs, these are massive tariffs.
No, but it has to happen before it goes back down.
Are you prepared?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's 100% right in terms of the tariff situation. Gas is $2.47. Wow, $2.47. That what state are you in? That's crazy. It's around $2.99 to $3.19 where I'm at. Any given day, it could be like $2.99 or $3.19. It just fluctuates between that. An educated boomer, yes. Thoughts on Mark Kelly? Think he might run for president? He's not going to do anything. He doesn't have the speaking ability. 249 in Alabama. Louisiana, yeah. It's understandable. 270 in Michigan. How can you fix your X feed? Feel like you see a lot of legit racist stuff? Well, it depends on what you interact with. Basically, that's what your X feed is. It's based on what things you click on or stay on in terms of viewing time. I mean, X is open now. It's real open. $4.59 in Washington State. Damn. I mean, it's always more expensive out there. There's no doubt about it. Homie called himself out. He might have done that on purpose, honestly. I don't know. chances Shador making the 53? Oh, I think he'll make the roster 100%. There's too much fanfare with it. You know, they're going to want him to make it. But we'll see what happens with it. I mean, 5th round picks normally do make it. Sometimes I guess they get cut. Around 3 Midwest. Yeah, it's around $3 in the Midwest, guess. Alberta has to be strategic and take it slow. Otherwise, if the vote falls, it'll set Alberta back 20 years until the next vote. Is that, well, I think it just depends on I'd like to see some public opinion polls after now that the election's over in terms of them leaving. Do you have Popeyes in Ohio? Yeah, we do have a Popeyes, but it's not, I don't know where it is, but we do have Popeyes. It's like in a strip mall or something. Too much drama to keep him on the roster. I say he gets cut. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a charade with Shador, and Haslam made him draft him. It seemed, I mean, obviously the front office had a plan. They went with Gabriel over him. Gabriel was rated lower than Shador on basically every big board by every NFL analyst, draft analyst. So if they're going to go with Gabriel over him, obviously they don't think highly of Sanders. Do you think New Jersey will flip red, or did too many people leave? Well, it depends what type of people left. Would you mean conservatives fleeing the state? Well, I mean, we don't. It's too early to say anything on people on migration because it's only been a few months since the election. But I think Democrats will invest money defending it now. Chick-fil-A better than Popeyes? Yeah, I eat Chick-fil-A sometimes. I haven't been eating it as much lately, though. I've been eating healthier recently, honestly. I mean, I guess Chick-fil-A is not the worst thing for you. Are you getting a tornado? No. Any new meme coins? I think what I'm doing is I'm really limiting. Well, this is the thing. You know, I'm trying to make money off this DeepSeek shit, and it's not releasing yet. It's a pain. But I'm really just limiting it to like 4 core meme coins, or maybe if I make money, I might expand it to like 6 or 7. But if I have like 6 or 7 meme coins and I have around 1.5 to 2% of the supply of those, and they're all like a million or lower in market cap, I just really need one of them to get huge, and then I'll be fine. That's kind of what I think, because you know, you can invest in all these different coins, and it's just not just limit your portfolio to like 4 or 5 different coins. Give yourself a chance and invest in coins that have, you know, they have a maturity to them to where they're like 7 or 8 months old, and they've had dips and stuff like that, and they still have a community. That's what I would say on it. Alberta coin? I don't even think there is one. It would be Canada coin. Pepe, what's up, man? Subway costs $31, 2 sandwiches, 2 chips, 1 soda. Yeah, 2 footlongs, and then, yeah, I mean, I could understand it costing that much, unfortunately. Cinco de Mayo, is that, are you talking about the coin you're saying? In May? Do you use centralized exchange for memes? No, I don't. I use Phantom and Uniswap. A poo? I mean, the market cap's a bit high for that. Have you tried Raising Cane's? Yeah, I mean, Raising Cane's is fine. Another chicken place. It's decent. I mean, but those places, they're not really healthy. I mean, I guess it depends if you're looking for it. Honestly, those places help me get more calories, if anything. Yeah, I like Subway. I like tuna. I like the tuna. I like tuna and lettuce. I like tuna. But let's take a look. Lemon. Dog stolen from Tesla. How is that 5 million? Like, what the hell? I mean, these retardio coins. I mean, it's like Cope. I was surprised Cope didn't have an official meme coin, but now it does. It's like troll. 100 men versus one gorilla. 4 million. Damn, dude. This coin was around for a while. How did I miss this? 6,000 market cap to 7 million. You always miss them. Am I familiar with Leroy Township? No, I'm not. You can make tuna sandwiches at home. What are you, my mom? That's what your mom says. We have it at home. Yeah, it doesn't taste nearly as good. You make it yourself, it doesn't taste as good. This is a fundamental thing you learn as a young kid. How's the auto pen coin doing? I didn't even know they had one. I mean, it's doing nothing because there's been no news on that. Whatever happened to the Trump coin? I mean, it's still here. I mean, I think Trump is getting some of his supply that he must have gotten it. It's at 2.6 billion. Yeah, Trump must have gotten some of his, or maybe I think it happened on April 20th. He got a certain, he got a dump in terms of supply because it's based off of a vesting schedule. Yeah, it's just crap with Trump. I mean, it's not good. Jimmy John's, yeah, Jimmy John's is good. You used to live in Ohio. It's boring as shit. Glad you moved in 2010. Well, I mean, dude, when it comes to like whether a place is boring or not, it depends what city you're in. It depends. Like, there's not really like you could be in an area in California and it could be boring as shit if it's rural. It's really people always say that about the generalizations about states. Like, oh, this state is boring. Well, if you're in Columbus, you'll know it's not boring. If you're in a big city, it's not boring. It makes no sense to generalize. I mean, I guess some states you can generalize because they're Great Plains or whatever, but like it's boring. Okay, well, yeah, but you probably live in an area to where it's maybe it is boring, but it's like an entire state being boring is nonsensical. 1.5 million of Myra. I used to own that coin. The gaming, yeah, dude, gaming has gotten destroyed. I mean, gaming has gotten annihilated. It's been a horrible cycle for gaming. Matt Walsh has some of the worst takes. He's spot on social issues, but has some wild opinions. He's a contrarian. Yeah, he's an attention seeker. I mean, that's what it is. It pays to be that. And so, but I've always thought he's a weirdo personally. Would you visit UAE? Yeah, I mean, I'd visit there for like a few days. Not that'd be an interesting experience. Yeah, I might. I might do a life update video. I don't. Not a story time video though. Maybe a life update video. Would you visit India? I'd likely avoid India. You want to avoid India. I'd pass on India. Go have some India street food. They do have good. You look at YouTube videos of India street food. It's pretty crazy. Bangladesh might even be worse. It's more poverty. Midwest flyover country. Well, I mean, enjoy your major city with like 70% minorities. It's a great way of living, I'm sure. Best time to buy gaming tokens is when they tanked, but this is like next level, dude. I mean, they didn't even go up when AI went up, and even AI now is tanked. But I thought gaming would have a better performance. I'm not sure it's going to go up much. Why not a story time video? I don't know. I mean, it's just like I can't think of a good reason to do one. Visit Vietnam, great food, very friendly. I've heard of some good things about Vietnam. Malaysia's a cool country. Is the GTA 6 coin backed by Rockstar Games? No. Dude. If it was backed by Rockstar Games, the market cap would probably be like 400 million. Think about it. You're saying I was born on 9/11? I was born in September, but not on the 11th. But not in 2001 either. Ohio winters are like summer camp compared to Alberta. I mean, Alberta's colder, but I mean, Alberta still gets good summers. The only problem with Ohio is it's fucking cold, like dangerously cold. There's colder places than Ohio. Like North Dakota, Minnesota, they're colder. Michigan. Watch GTA 6 come out in 2027. Honestly, no, I don't think it will. I think it'll come out. I think it'll come out, and it's going to come out late fall. I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed now. They just have to release the second trailer, and I think the second trailer is coming out in May. It has to be. You gooned the like button. Why does Vivek act Christian? It's to fit in with the Republicans. Cinco de Mayo, is it moving at all? Because I know you mentioned that or a few weeks ago. I mean, which one is it, dude? Nothing here is this the one? 7,019K. This is at nothing. And what did it go to 160K? Yeah, maybe I think it'll go to like 30K. I think you'll get it at 30K, man. So many cases of that. Alberta summers are really hot, winters are very cold. Great Plains are like that as well. Did Bill Belichick lose his balls? What was that interview? It was very odd. I don't know. Mayonnaise. No, I like mayonnaise. Yeah, mayonnaise is good. It's like a white person's condiment. But I like, I mean, too much of it's nasty, I'll agree, but. Ohio weather, basically fall weather. That's not true. No, there's a legit summer in Ohio, absolutely. It'll be 80 degrees in September or early October too. Were you born on the fall equinox? The 21st? No, I wasn't. Yeah, that's big for that is big for those girls. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this stream. I'm going to wrap it up. Hot weather only lasts for a month or two. That's not true, man. It's not true. I've lived in Ohio all my life. It's hot in June. It's hot in July. It's hot in August. It's hot in most of May. It's hot in most of September. But that's how it is now in the United States. The summers are longer. Your Canadian friends are starting to learn Chinese. That's another thing. The CCP has a huge influence within China. They were very happy that Carney won. Extremely happy. It's the globalist agenda. But the CCP was very happy. How long ago did the World Trade Center, did the towers fall? Like 24 years. All right, guys. I'll see ya.